Hello and welcome to this new video, to this new session. I'm super excited to have you watching me, basically watching my screen. And today I would like to do a quick one for this one, for the cache. The cache, it has an issue at the moment. I mean, kind of an issue. So recently I will show you the blog post, is that one. Recently GitHub deprecated, they decided to deprecate the save state and the save output. And especially when you have pipelines, so when you have GitHub Actions, such as a workflow, well, it might be an issue because it will mention that it is deprecated and soon it won't have any effect. So in this video, I would like to show you how to update it, how to change it to the new recommended syntax, or I would say GitHub output stream. So indeed, we have to send now the value, the echo, into the GitHub state or the GitHub output. In the case of the cache, it's the GitHub output. And here we have a nice example for PHP Composer. It's on the cache, official cache action. So at the moment, the version is version 3. And I recommend to use the version 3, always the latest one. However, always you have, downsides, and the downside here is that they decided to deprecate the set output. But you will see it's really easy to fix. So 1 or 2 years ago, I have, when was it? Oh, 1 year ago, one and a half, I have published this article about GitHub Actions. And I have mentioned also how to cache it with Composer for, get Composer cache directory. I have recently updated the example with the output, the GitHub output stream. And I have mentioned this in my comment today that indeed GitHub has been updated. I mean, they updated the way how you cache things, and now set output is not the one you should use, and instead you have to use the GitHub output. So I have a few projects I haven't done the replacement, and I would like to do it with you because, again, a practical example is the best way to learn. So let's go here. That's one of my PHP open source package, HTML to text. And here I have, if I go to Actions, if I go here to the latest pipeline, I can see 4 warnings. What are those warnings? Well, it's about the set output. And they say that comment set output is deprecated. And instead, you should, so it will be disabled soon. That's the higher priority part, because, it means that at some point the cache won't work. And maybe your pipeline won't work the way you want them to work. And it's good to update them. Or maybe they will be broken, even worse. So for doing so, it's easy. You have basically to replace, if you look at the example given by the official cache, Actions cache, and you go to example, and here, PHP Composer, it's this one, that's the one we are looking for, that one. You don't need the pipe. The pipe is mostly for readability to go to the next line. But in our case, for me, I think it doesn't really help the readability. To me, it sounds, yeah, I prefer to have it on the same line. It's just about taste, I would say, and also about consistency. So if you don't use pipes for going to the next line in your pipeline, in your GitHub action, you shouldn't, because otherwise it won't be consistent. And here, where is that one? Is here, you see? So what I will do, I will just comment what kind of YAML file. So YAML file for commenting. Oh, I thought it was a hash. Comment on YAML file. Yeah, it's a hash. So we just do this, and then here, so that's a new one. It will look like this. And if you look at my example here, because I was playing a little bit around before, you will see it's the same. And that was before, and now it becomes like this. So we can just remove this, and we can update that one. I think everything else looks good to me. So I will say update HTML to text GitHub action, or maybe let's make it even better. The message will be replace set output. You can see set output to this one, deprecated. Oops, I made a typo. Deprecated. It's not the easiest word. Perfect. So I can commit to this. You can double check. Yeah, that looks good. And now we can just wait. The pipeline finishes. In progress. Exciting. And let's see. It's usually really quick, especially here in my case, because the pipeline is really short. And let's see if we don't have any warning. In the meantime, so when you go to the blog, the official blog of GitHub, to this article, changelog 2022, October 11th, 2022, GitHub Actions, and they mention some example. Here it's for save state, and there it's a little bit different. You see, they mention about name. So run echo, it becomes, sorry. So this one, set output name, then the name will be first to be echo. So this one gets removed, and the name will be wrapped into curly brackets equals curly brackets, and then it will be the stream operator, and here to be the GitHub output variable with a $sign. You know, it's the bash variable with a $sign. So echo, that's the same. This one you remove, you add curly brackets there, and then you output your GitHub output variable. And in our case, because in our case it's a little bit different, it is set output name dir directory, and so it will be run dir $sign, and then you have parentheses, and then composer config, which is the same as there. That's the same. Again, parentheses, same as before. You see the $sign is there. There is also the $sign, so that's still exactly the same as before. And then you output. So basically the difference is the directory here equals, and then you keep the same, and finally at the end you do the arrow, the stream operator to GitHub output. Now let's see, GitHub Actions has finished, and let's see, we don't have any messages, we don't have any warnings, So that's beautiful. We can now do the two other repositories I have left to do it together because they are a little bit different. Here you can see we have GitHub Actions cache version 3, version 2. So we'll update to version 3. Sometimes you would see the branch, master or main. This is not recommended. You should use the tag, the version, because when you use the main master or main branch name, sometimes it might break things in your pipeline. So you should always use the tag version like v1, v2, v3, v4. Here, the latest version, as you have probably seen, is version 3, because we have seen it together, you see. And so I will update that one. Check out also, that's nothing related to this video, but it has changed to version 3. So just to use the latest version, I will change to v3. The other one didn't have that issue, but this pipeline is a little bit older, so I have to do these updates too. And finally, here, I will just copy this now. But you see, it's really similar. Oh, I will remove the pipe, the one we were mentioning earlier, because I think for me it's a little bit ugly, I would say, but that's just my own opinion. And here, you see, it's almost the same again. So what you had to do is just to change this, and otherwise it's the same. So name again, when you look, so dir directory, and just like this, see, and then there you just do pipeline, and then here GitHub output. That's it. And to remove that code. And now if we compare, there's a little difference. Oh yeah, here, code, perfect. And now it's the same. You see, it's the same. So it's kind of easy. And now we can update cache and check out to v3 plus replace. It was replace set output to GitHub output in favor of perfect. And now I can commit right to the main branch, and I can double check if it looks correct. I have removed the pipe there, so that's fine. And yeah, you can see it's the same. I will check later once the pipeline has finished. And let's do the last one. This one, that one was for my EU VAT number validator. I also need to update. Let's see, cache is fine, it's version 3 there too. So only for the set output. So again, now I believe you know pretty much. This one, you would move it, that one, like this, then like that, then that, and output. Let's make sure it's correct. So for doing so, I will just copy. Yeah, it looks correct. You see, it's easy. Actually, once you know, it's easy. Update, replace, deprecated, deprecated, and then it will be set output to the new one. So if I go to the blog, how do they call it? How do they call it? GitHub output, but maybe they have a different name. Yeah. GitHub output. Perfect. And we can, I will just copy paste that. More info. Awesome. So at least my commit looks a little bit better, the message. More information. And you see, it's the same. So now if we even compare with the example given there, perfect. We are all good. And now we can check the GitHub Actions here on Qt link names. It has finished. Looks perfect. And there, the EUVAT is still running. One more. So you see, it's really easy. You just have to know first, it's a little bit like annoying why I have this error. But once you know, it makes much more sense. And now there, it has been done too. So beautiful, lovely. I hope this video helped, and I wish you a happy coding. See you in another video.